So how's everybody doing? It's PR back with another video. So before I begin with the video, of course, plug to the podcast, Throwing Snowballs podcast with PR52. Make sure you follow the Twitter page, PR5210 for updates. Of course, I'm going to begin that. Got to plug it right there. So I am going to foreshadow a possible civil war that's going to happen in the Philadelphia Eagles fan base on social media. And I just want to say right now that I want absolutely nothing to do with it. And the reason why I want absolutely nothing to do with it is because it's in no way constructive to be arguing with each other over which quarterback we like the best or which quarterback we're going to be playing favorites to. A lot of people oftentimes ask, why are Eagles fans always at each other's throats? And this is what happens when you have the most passionate fan base in the NFL. Everybody has strong opinions. Everybody thinks that they're always right, and nobody ever wants to admit when they're wrong. And this whole quarterback controversy, civil war, I want absolutely nothing to do with it. Me personally, I've been saying that I want a quarterback competition between Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. And the reason why I say that there's going to be a civil war in the Philadelphia Eagles fan base is because this situation is so similar to the situation in 2013 between Michael Vick and Nick Foles. We all remember that Michael Vick was this incumbent quarterback who had a successful season in 2010. And I had always said that Michael Vick was too good to be true. I never really liked Michael Vick. It wasn't because of the dogfighting thing. It was just because I knew that to the core, Michael Vick wasn't a student of the game. And I knew that what he did in 2010, that MVP caliber season, that comeback player of the year season, it was fool's gold. And I knew this because of the fact that he wasn't a student of the game. And, Michael Vick was coming into this redeem team season a year removed from having a bit of a decline, and we were supposed to be a pretty good team. We started out 3-1. And when we started out 3-1, a lot of people got really excited about this team. And a lot of people thought that the Eagles were going to be really good. I think at the time we were leading the division. But what people need to understand is that the way we won those 3 games, there were 2 comebacks and a missed field goal by Lawrence Tynes. Michael Vick had a really, really bad season that year. 12 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, I think a couple of fumbles. He wasn't a good quarterback, and it started out those first 4 weeks of the season where we won those 2 games against the Browns and the Ravens, and Michael Vick didn't have a good game. And moving forward, Michael Vick would get injured again. And a lot of people blamed the team being so bad off of the injuries, off of bad offensive line play and bad play calling. Sound familiar? So then Michael Vick gets a concussion. And Nick Foles comes in and he plays pretty well. 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, I think, or 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Has a pretty good passing game with the yardage. He had a couple of fumbles, and I think he had 1 touchdown. So a decent season for a rookie, a third-round rookie who I watched play at Arizona. He set multiple records in the Pac-12 at the time, or the Pac-10. I forget which one it was called at the time, but I remember he won that game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that last-second touchdown pass to Jeremy Maclin where the team was down 21-10, and they eventually started to come back and they won the game. And I remember thinking to myself, we have a quarterback who is a rookie who is playing pretty much as well as a guy who was supposed to be a starter. And I remember when the season ended and Andy Reid got fired, which he deserved to get fired. I remember Jeffrey Lurie said at midseason, he said that if the Eagles didn't win 8 games, then Andy Reid would get fired. And we won 4. Michael Vick won 3. Nick Foles won 1. I think Nick Foles' record was 1-5. I can't do the math right now, but Michael Vick won 3 games. We won 4 games that season. And coming in when Chip Kelly was hired, a lot of people were saying that Michael Vick was going to be the quarterback. And I remember there was this huge controversy that happened online. I remember I was like the 4-star, 5-star general of this. I remember fighting day after day, week after week for Nick Foles on the internet. And I will say that the biggest mistake that I made was wasting so much time doing that, because I really felt like I was making an impact. I really felt like I had to make people believe my point. I had to fight for Nick Foles and make people believe, convince people that Nick Foles was a better quarterback than Michael Vick was. And the thing was that I didn't even need to do that. It was just pointless. I would, look through statistics. I looked at Pro Football Reference. Game after game, drive after drive. I wrote an essay about why Michael Vick, shouldn't be the starter and Nick Foles should. The 5 myths about Michael Vick being the quarterback. And I remember that I think I said something along the lines of, a certain number of drives, per game, Nick Foles would score points than Michael Vick. And I remember just I had spreadsheets. I had all this statistical analysis just to prove something that I just didn't need to prove. I remember that offseason, people called me so many names. People thought I was a racist because I liked Nick Foles better than Michael Vick. I remember, being part of this Facebook group where people were sticking my face onto pornographic images just because I disagreed with them. And people need to understand that there's a reason why people hate Eagles fans. And this was one of the big reasons. If you say something they don't like, they're just going to attack you. And obviously, I'm not a Chip Kelly fan, but looking back at things, Chip Kelly doing that quarterback battle was a good thing in hindsight, because these two quarterbacks battled against each other. And while the quarterback that I wanted to win didn't win at first, Nick Foles had 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And I say that because of the quarterback battle, because these two guys had to work as hard as they could. Now, this situation, fast forward, isn't the same. We have this incumbent quarterback with Carson Wentz, who had a really good season back in 2017, an MVP caliber season before getting injured. And who knows what happens if he doesn't get injured? Who knows if he wins the Super Bowl or not? I don't know. And then, has this huge decline season where the team he wins 3.5 games against Joe Burrow and Daniel Jones, or half game against Joe Burrow, Daniel Jones, Nick Mullins, and Ben DiNucci, and has this season where he just completely declines. He's throwing bad passes. He's not throwing the ball away. He's taking too many sacks. He's fumbling too much. Sure, the coaching was bad by Doug Peterson, like it was with Andy Reid back in 2012, but it would be so much of a hypocrite of me to go ahead and say Michael Vick was bad during that 2012 season because of himself, and Carson Wentz was bad during the 2020 season because of the coaching. And then you have this quarterback in Jalen Hurts that the fans didn't want, and he stepped on the field and actually gave the team some hope. He won that game against New Orleans, not in the same way that Nick Foles beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he won that game. And with the whole thing about Carson Wentz's attitude coming out in the media and everything about possibly trading him and a new coach and what the new coach is going to do, I'm just going to sit here and say this, that there's going to be a lot of Eagles fans who are going to be arguing on the internet about how who should be the quarterback. I like my guy, but I don't like your guy, so you're stupid and you're an idiot and F you. No, I'm not going to participate in any of that stuff. I want a straight up quarterback battle just like back then. Even if a quarterback battle is considered a bad thing for the salary cap or for the team, I still want that. And I'm not coming out and saying that you should want exactly what I want, but what I'm saying is that all of this infighting that we're having right now, I know that some of us don't particularly like each other. I know that for a fact. I know there are a lot of Eagles fans who don't like me. I know that there's Eagles fans who don't like other people. But what I'm saying is that none of us have any control over this situation. And arguing with people about this or that, it's not going to solve anything. And I know this because back in 2013, when I made an ass out of myself trying to prove to people something that didn't need to be proven, something that I didn't have any control over, while I was right in the end, look at me now. Burned bridges. People don't like me as much. I was slugged through the mud just because I had an unpopular opinion. We don't have to be controversial just to be controversial. Some of us don't like each other, but we can stand here and understand that we're here for this team. We're here for the logo. We're here for this logo right here. The logo on the hat, the eagle. That's what we're here for. We're here for the logo on the jersey, the patch on the jersey. Okay? We're not here for the name on the back. Unless, of course, the player with the name on the back is Brian Dawkins, of course. Hardest hitting safety in the league. But what I'm going to say is that we don't have to fight like this. We don't have to argue like this. I had a conversation with a few Eagles fans yesterday, and we disagreed with each other, but you know what? We came to a consensus that we disagreed with each other, but we could do it in a respectful manner. This whole nobody likes us, we don't care kind of mantra, we might have missed out on coaches just because of the fans, just because of the media. Let's wait and see. Let's be patient. We were patient for like 67 or 57, 67 years to win a Super Bowl. We can be patient to see who the quarterback is going to be. And I think that with a quarterback battle, all of this is going to work itself out in the end. So that's all I got. It's PR. Peace. I'm out. See ya. Have a nice day.
Peace.